This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by English heavyweight champion Solomon Dacres here in Manchester. Solomon, firstly, before we come on to a few different topics with yourself, how are you doing?
I'm all good, man. Fight week, so all the hard work's done, relaxing now.
Fight week, all the hard work is done. Before we come on to the fight on Saturday night, you've got a new promotional team behind you. Obviously, you've teamed up with Frank Warren and Queensberry. Just from your perspective, Frank, why did you leave Matchroom and team up with Frank?
Yeah, I just feel like the heavyweight divisions with Frank at the moment. Obviously I went over to Saudi. I've been sparring with Tyson. The British title fight was over there on Frank's platform, and that's something we're chasing, the British title. So that was one of the big reasons, and also more money, more money. You know what I mean? It's simple as that.
That's what I was going to bring up. Obviously, we spoke to Eddie after the announcement of you guys teaming up, and he just said that they had matching rights on the offer that was put to you, but he felt like it was just such a good offer for you that you couldn't really turn it down.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them. Yeah, we went back to Matchroom with the offer. They couldn't match the offer that Frank gave us, so it's a no-brainer for me. We've got a good platform. We've got the heavyweight division, British titles on their platform. So everything that I want, in the short-term goals now are here.
Was you disappointed at all that maybe Eddie didn't push harder to keep you, or was you understanding as to what?
Yeah, it's one of them. They just wished me the best. They said, it's a really good offer you've got. We won't match it. Don't bother me. As long as there's a ring on Saturday night and the money goes in the bank after the fight, I'm getting the wins. That's all that matters.
Let's come on to Saturday night then for yourself, Mr. Webster, the man in the opposite corner. What are you expecting? What are you hoping to show on your Queensberry debut?
Yeah, I want to show all my skills. My some of my power as well. I want to show the power that I've been developing. I've been working on it. Everyone knows I'm a really good boxer. Technical, very slippery. I want to start showing my power now and putting my foot down and getting those stoppages.
I know you've said that you want to have a crack at that British title fight. Fabio Wardley obviously defeating Dubois-Adeleye out in Saudi. Do you feel like with yourself, though, you need to really make a statement on Saturday night to put yourself back into that shop window to try and make yourself more of a viable or entertaining option to Fabio?
Maybe, if I look too good, they keep swerving it, he's swerving my name. He's sort of putting me off, you know what I mean? When I was right there with him, he's putting me off, fight Adelaide, fight Fraser Clark. I want to fight for your title, man. You know what I mean? So, maybe if I look too good, he might start trying to swerve me again, man. But end of the day, I'll just take each fight as it comes. My goal is put a great performance in on Saturday, get the win, and then that's the main thing. And then I want that title next.
You haven't had that rivalry kind of build up between yourself and Fabio, the way that Fabio has with Fraser, the way he did with David. Do you feel like it might be something that needs to change a little bit to really start to try and push him and make him think, okay then, if you want it, let's get it?
Maybe, I don't chat too much shit, you know what I mean? I'm not much of a shit talker, and with him I think he sees those guys and he's more confident in beating them. That's why there's more stuff coming back. With me, I feel like he feels like he can't beat me, so he's trying to put me off a little bit. But I'm just making moves like coming to Queensberry, doing things because I want to just hunt him down.
What do you feel like you learned from his performance and his fight against David-Adeleye?
Not much that I ain't seen before, and I just gain more confidence from what I see. I know I'm confident in what I can do, and nothing's changed in that regard.
Obviously chasing that British title then, what's Frank said to you about trying to pursue it on your behalf, trying to get a deal done if he can? What have those conversations been like? Yeah,
I mean that's part of why I've signed with these. We've put in the contract that we're going to do our best. Very soon to get the British title. It's something we've put in the deal. But my full focus is Saturday because as long as I get this good win out of the way on Saturday, then we can talk about that.
Can I ask, Sol? Beyond, say, Fabio Wardley, you've got the likes of Daniel Dubois, Joyce, who all signed with Frank. Have those guys been mentioned at some point down the line, their fights they want to make?
Not yet, not yet, because, we've got to take one fight at a time. They're in whatever stages of their career, but obviously these are options that are there. Me and Joyce have got the same manager, I'm good friends with Joyce. Probably not going to happen with me and Joyce because he's going to want the few big fights now, you know what I mean? Build himself back up. So, but someone like Dubois, who's a lot younger, he's probably trying to rebuild himself. Those sort of fights can happen. With guys that Dubois is going to probably have a few more years in the game. He's only young. you know, that can happen down the line. But like I said, my immediate focus is Saturday, and defending English title.
So just some reflections from your past experience sparring with Tyson Fury as well. What can you tell me about it? What did you take away?
Yeah, obviously, you know, he's the best in the game. Very technical, very tricky. You know, all those things. You know, big reach. You know, big target. And you know, it's just the best sparring that you can get. You know, his performance in Saudi wasn't, you know, what people expected, but inspiring and everything. I'm telling you, he's sharp. So, for me, as far as I'm concerned, the work I've been getting has been second to none.
That's what I have to ask you about. Obviously, that performance in Saudi has raised a lot of questions from people. Is he maybe on the slide? Was he just a one-off? Did he not take Ngannou seriously? From your experiences, what would you have put it down to on the night as to why we didn't see what you've seen in sparring?
Yeah, like I said, I sparred him literally the Saturday before, and you know, he was really sharp. You know, it could be, you know, multiple things. I don't know. You know, there was a lot of, you know, pre-fight antics he had to do. You know, late nights. You know, mingling with the, you know, the Saudis, and you know, doing all these sort of things and events. You know, and the fight. You know, it was 2 o'clock in the morning by the time we walked to the ring. So maybe, you know, I think it was more of a one-off thing. You know, I'm going. Sometimes, you know, these guys that aren't pure boxers, they're awkward. You don't know what to expect from them. So they never really look like the best matchup fights. You know what I mean? Especially someone as strong and awkward as Francis. So you know, I think it just comes down to the night, but he'll brush that off, and you know, he'll work on his next fight.
So just sticking with the heavyweights, we're expecting an announcement very soon, very imminently, about a potential mega card on December 23rd. I'm just going to run through some of these fights with you. Anthony Joshua, Otto-Wallin's an interesting one. At this stage in his career, what AJ is looking for, wouldn't have anticipated him challenging another southpaw. What are your thoughts on Joshua-Wallin?
You know, he's proved to be quite tricky, hasn't he? He's not bad. I think Joshua's beat him in the amateurs, so you know, he'll be confident. And he's got to get a good win in there, otherwise, you know, it's sort of another step back behind the guys that are coming through. So it's an interesting one.
Do you think AJ beats Otto-Wallin?
I think he should do, but just see what kind of performance he brings out of himself. You know, he's lost his last 2 fights to a southpaw, but it's Usyk, you know, and in a way, he could have gained more experience from those 2 fights, you know.
Deontay Wilder and Joseph Parker also being touted as well. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you know, Parker's been on good form his last couple of fights. You know, he's a good man, Parker. You know, he's been in the Fury camp. You know, really sound guy. You know, and I wish him all the best. But Deontay Wilder, obviously, he's a crazy puncher. But do you know what? You know, Wilder's been beat. You know, back-to-back times. You know, I mean, he's just got to stay away from that right hand, man. Just stay away, Joe.
And then another one being Daniel Dubois, as we mentioned earlier, and Jerome Miller. Your take if that one was to be announced?
Yeah, I never heard about that one. Yeah, interesting one. You know, Miller's a big lump. You know, Dubois can hit. That would be an interesting one to see how Miller comes for it. You know, he might come out swinging. I don't know, yeah, it'd be a good fight. It'd be a good fight.
There's a number of fights. I've seen Dubois Chisora mentioned. I've seen Makhmudov Bacoli mentioned amongst a host of names. But we're waiting for that official announcement, whether it goes ahead or not. But yeah, so I'll leave you now to obviously enjoy the rest of his press conference. Thanks for speaking to me, and good luck on Saturday night.
Nice one, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.